Oh, the sneak peek is how to survive a maximum security facility as a correctional officer using meditation strategies.
Hello and welcome. Welcome
Greetings.
online to your channel, because this is going to be on your channel. First of all, how are you?
Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is growing very nicely. I suffered an injury, but it's been healing pretty nicely. So, everything in life is all about the yin and the yang. Took some time off to rest.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm glad that you're on the road to recovery, and I'm so pleased to finally be able to welcome you on this call so that you can discuss the upcoming tour that you've got planned.
Yes.
I want you to tell us, well, first of all, a bit about the tour.
Oh, the backstory. Yes, the backstory is
Yeah.
my brother Boris, Boris Shaka Gustav Stevens, a doctor, PhD. He was a very luminary person who had lots of things going on in Sierra Leone, which is our motherland. He was going back and forth. He had lots of engineering, touristic quests, agriculture and things, judo, martial arts. And he unfortunately transitioned to the ancestral realm. And well, in his honor, because he was so enthusiastic about Sierra Leone tourism, development, reconnecting Africans from whether it's from Nova Scotia, the Maroons, the Gula Gucci people, all of which really had precedence and ancestry in Sierra Leone. He was very much focused on enabling them to repurpose their lives by resourcing themselves and having a visit, or should I say, a pilgrimage back home. So in his honor, we are having the first the first Boris Simba Eternal Sierra Leone African Tours. That's what it's going to be, and I'll be taking a couple of Africans from the diaspora who actually have traced their ancestry to Sierra Leone, both of them, to a cultural tour of Sierra Leone. And that's the backstory behind how the cultural tour came to be.
That's fantastic. So that's quite a journey in itself, just, looking into, well, your genealogy, your genetic makeup to work out where your ancestors are from.
Okay, no, it was a wonderful journey for them to get to this point and to find somebody who can connect them so they can have an experience which is positive. As you know, we have our Aunt Ruth Faundu, who's the first female paramount chief in Minde land, and she's chief of a Gabo. So I talked to her and her son Salia, and we are organizing a trip to the village where they're going to be welcomed home, a welcome and home ceremony for the two people on this tour. And yeah, so we want to continue in the light of what Boris started, one thing at a time, slowly but surely. The first, the first stone is the cornerstone lots of times. So we intend this to be the cornerstone of future ventures, which we'll be doing with Africans from the continent, Africans from the diaspora. And the main thing is to connect the past, the present, and the future. So we'll also be working in a school for girls, young girls. But I know that the questions are going to come about that, so we'll talk about that as we go along.
Yeah. So, well, could you give us a brief overview of what you're going to be doing on this tour?
Yes, I'll give you an overview. We're going to be doing a few things. Connecting with the past. We're going to be going to Bunce Island, where we're going to be pouring a libation. Bunce Island is where lots of the Africans who left, I won't say who left, who were forcefully kidnapped violently kidnapped in this crime against humanity called the Ma'afa, and were taken to the not so new New World, which is really not the New World at all. This is where they were imprisoned and taken from. So we're going to go there to commemorate their bravery and pour a libation and pay homage to all their struggle and all they went through, and try to move them forward into the light so that they can continue to contribute to our lives in a peaceful and positive way. So we're going to do that. That's the past. We're going to also have a trip through Freetown, the cultural tour of Freetown, go to the cotton tree, where we're going to pour libation as well. As you know, the cotton tree is where lots of our Nova Scotian, Black, poor Creole ancestors, that's the first place they went. They did a church service or whatever religious service they were with. And that's how really and truly Freetown got started, around that epicenter. And that's still the epicenter of Freetown. We're going to do that. We're going to do, of course, the Maroon Church, because one of the people is Jamaican. The other person is from Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, they're both African Canadians, but they have ancestry in the Caribbean as well. And we're going to do that, the Freetown tour, just because Freetown was founded by ancestors who were, for the Creole ancestors who are connected a lot to the Caribbean, and it's going to be very meaningful for them. And yeah, so after we're done that, we're gonna do a little nature adventure to the the chimpanzee sanctuary, Takogama, there, where we have some notorious chimpanzees who have spent some time there, and just maybe they're gonna want to support and maybe adopt. I think the important thing is that sanctuary is not a zoo. They're rehabilitating the chimpanzees to put them back into the wild. So it's not like just for the sake of exploitation. So we're gonna go there, have a little trip, and then after we're gonna go to after that we're gonna go to that's gonna be the village ceremony in Kubo. So we're gonna do the village ceremony with the highlight, which is gonna be a plot of land is gonna be allocated to the people who come back, so they can assist the village. And they're going to have a welcoming ceremony, okay? And then to end things off, we're going to volunteer for a few days before we come back in Hope Academy for Girls, which is in York, and the outskirts of Freetown, the suburbs of Freetown, where lots of the girls, unfortunately, have been led astray by the sex tourism. So the elder there, decided to make a free school for them. And we want to support her. We're going to bring some resources, some books, some equipment, and we're gonna perform some workshops on literacy and financial literacy and stuff like that with the young girls. And yeah, that will be basically the end of the tour. So we've connected the past, the present, and the future, and we are going to maintain through the land and through the relationship with the school an ongoing presence in the lives of the people who we've interfaced with.
That sounds.
Yeah, then we'll come back.
That sounds great. That's just so. Altogether, there are 3 of you going. Is that right? Or
yes, there are 3 of us going. It was meant to initially be 5, but I mean, everything is according to the divine will and the divine plan. So those who are supposed to be there are going to be there. And it happens to be those 2 people who are going are the 2 only ones who actually have literally traced their ancestry to Sierra Leone. So maybe that's what the ancestors are saying. That we need to start with. Yeah. So.
And will they be getting Sierra Leonean citizenship? Do you know? Is that in the works or?
Oh, and I haven't planned anything for that yet. I think down the road. I think it's a good start to have a plot of land, and being that they have their ancestry traced to Sierra Leone, that's something which I'm sure they'll want to look into in the future. For now, just having a relationship with the village, I'm sure that will cement whatever legal aspects of their citizenship might come next. So, you know.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it's like arriving and being one of, well, I think I was one of 3 people the last time when I went to Freetown. I think I was one of 3 people in the queue for a visa on arrival. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Being a Sierra Leonean, it's a little strange feeling to do that. I know you must have felt a little strange. But then you got your passport after all this, right?
Exactly. It was my motivation to never suffer that humiliation again.
Yeah.
Literally, I think I was behind this South African guy who was just, I guess, traveling the continent, and yeah. But it was a short queue, so I guess it wasn't too bad. Right. So
Yeah.
thanks for explaining about the tour, what you're going to do, who you're going with. And I think you're really right that I think this kind of a tour, with this kind of a tour especially, because it's so significant to the people who are going, and it sounds like, you know, these are the people who benefit the most in this moment.
Yes.
I think the fact that there'll be one of you and 2 of them, it's probably a really good ratio so that, you know, you can answer any questions that they have. They can connect to the people, the lands, you know, the fact that you're there to facilitate it, I think is, and that they're going to have so much more of your attention is a blessing, or will be a blessing. Don't forget to take them to the beach though.
Oh yeah.
What
we've done is those items on the official tour items are like spread out every 2 days. So in between, we're free to discover the beaches, the nightlife as we found on the beach with all those little spots and stuff which people can go to. So yeah, there's ample time to do that stuff as well. But that hasn't officially been put on the schedule just because you know, we wanted to give them some leverage to discover with them. A few other things which we'll be doing, you know, which is traditionally I go back to see, you know, it might not be very encouraging for some people, but I go to see the to the resting place of my grandmother, my grandfather, my father, pour libation. You know, you just want to you know, to empower those in your family line who've transitioned as well, and pay homage to them, and not forget who they were and what they were. And I'm going to share that with the group as well. I'm pretty sure they'll be very interested. So that is part of the thing. And the beach, of course, as you mentioned, is very much part of it. I intend to soak my foot in that salt water. I know it's very healing, and we will be there. In between all those positive, enlightening ventures we have, we'll definitely be in the beaches.
So how many days are you spending in each location?
Well, it's just a day. I think it's going to be the village is going to be the longest, but all those quests are just like a full day schedule for those items on the actual tour. Because Sierra Leone is not that big, according to Salia and my guides, pretty much we can even go to the village and do whatever we need in the course of a day. So we can do that stuff as well. You know, staying overnight will be a different thing altogether, but we want to do a day thing for sure, and we'll figure out whether we might do the overnight. That is something which we'll figure out later.
Okay, and you're going at the right, let me think. Is this the start of the dry season?
Yes. So yeah, we would have avoided that deluge, hopefully, and the slides and everything else, and get some clement weather. I'm looking forward to that. Of course, we'll need to introduce them to the mosquito. So we've prepared ourselves for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have to take their shot. Do they have to take shots or?
Yeah. Well, yellow fever, and then for malaria, they have the malaria pills, right? Or the malaria shot. It's up to them to decide. You know. So.
Oh, they have a choice. That's nice.
Yeah. I mean, if they're gonna take the pills, that's what I recommend, because the pills are just like a daily thing, right? As you know, or a weekly thing. So
I can't even remember now. Yeah, I was taking mine daily. And then I suppose my tip to them is that they need to make sure they take enough of the trip, because I extended my trip unexpectedly, and thankfully my cousin arranged with his doctor friend who had a pharmacist. So it's a bit convoluted to get me some extra tablets, but I think the type of anti-malarial that I took was the one that foreigners take, not locals. So
okay.
yeah, so
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm so thankful that he was able to sort that out for me. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're totally right. I know I had to take it for a couple of weeks after I got back. So yeah.
Oh
Um,
right.
I think it was a week or so. At
Yeah,
least.
I stopped mine a week after I came back. Yeah,
Mm.
Independence Day. Yeah.
Well, for those out of the video world, they might not know, but the last time I was in Freetown, you were there too in April. And
Yeah.
yeah, the first time in how many years you were back?
13.
Wow.
13. 13 long,
Wow.
long years. Yeah.
They must have put an extra J in there for you. JJC. Yeah.
Any final thoughts you want to share about the trip? Are you going to document it?
Yeah, we're gonna have it on my channel. We're gonna have somebody who has been working with a family for a while. He's actually one of my nephews. We're gonna give him a little bit of business and a little bit of airplay. He's gonna be taking lots of pictures, but it's gonna be mostly pictures, which we'll be posting whether on Facebook, whether on the different avenues. But we're also gonna
Yeah.
take some videos as well. So we look forward to sharing it. Definitely going to take videos with the people, especially the people who are new to the country. Their reactions to the village ceremony, especially, will be very meaningful. But even to the libation, I think these things need to be documented. And going forward, we want to get more people. We don't want to. It's not about numbers. It's not about quantity. It's about quality of the experience, right? And so we want them to have a quality experience, no matter how small the groups might be, and we just wanted to continue to grow, not necessarily in numbers specifically, but to grow in terms of the quality of the experience and the quality of the exchanges between the local people and the people Africans who are overseas, because we need to have more partnerships to grow each other, as we need spiritual growth over here and people need more economic growth over there, and they need spiritual growth as well. We all need to come together, I think. And when we come together, then we can really offer each other a win-win scenario for the benefit of all. So yeah, the people I'm going with are they're not young, just young people who have no idea of anything. They're business professionals. One of them is a bank manager, the other one is a mortgage specialist. So they have lots to offer, and they're going to be offering their skills and their talents to assist with growing our country and growing themselves and making things better for everybody on both coasts.
Yeah, well, I sincerely hope that it's everything that they wished for, and that it's, healing in some ways, and that, it inspires. So I'm assuming that, they have maybe siblings, parents who are alive, grandparents, that it will have, a knock-on effect on on their wider families, really, and communities as well. I mean, so yeah, that's my wish for them and for you. And yeah, that I hope that they're inspired, and I hope that they feel at home, that they actually feel that they are connected, because they are. But
And we got some good people who are going to be working with who we've known for a while. So that's the key thing. Like you're right, it's establishing, not just going there just to see things, but establishing positive relationships with people. It's the more meaningful, whether it's the paramount chief in the village, whether it's the youth at the school, whether it's the head teacher, the principal, whether it's the football or the community organization in Mauritania. I think the key thing is to establish strategic partnerships and positive relationships with these people, to treat them as fairly and equally as you would anybody else, and understand that they are of great value as well as you being of great value, and you can only your value can only expand when you work together. So that's the intention, and that's the people I'm bringing. I'm not trying to bring people who are in there for the wrong, the wrong intentions, because that, of course, would blemish the whole journey.
Yeah. So, well, sounds like you've yeah, sounds like you've got a good group going. So, yeah, I wish you all the best. And if you ever ever fancy an interview, I can make myself available.
Oh yes, we need to do an interview. We will
like
definitely arrange that with a group. Maybe we can arrange that even after, or maybe before and after. Who knows? Or something of that nature, or after. It's hard, of course, as you know, in this Western world, with everybody being in different places, to get everybody together.
It might be easier to do it when you're all there.
Yeah, that would probably be best. Yeah.
All in one spot, and I'm pretty sure I know where I will be.
Okay.
And a little tip: it turns out that my course has a break for Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, so
okay.
the stars are aligned.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we would hope that maybe sometime in the future you might even come on one of these journeys, and you might be one of the inspirators of people.
Oh,
There's an invite.
I would be honored. Like, truly, when you mentioned
somebody who knew Boris, it'll be very inspirational and it'll be very meaningful if you are ever to come to one of these journeys.
Well, the ancestors are working on my behalf so that I will hopefully be able to do these things down the line, have more flexibility, more freedom. With my ECOWAS passport now, I'm unstoppable. So,
there you go. Get into all these countries, no problem.
Yeah. When you mentioned Hope Academy to me the first time, I was blown away, and that's at least one cause, or I suppose enterprise that I'd be willing to support more than just financially.
No, we're working on the future, thinking of even doing some martial arts programs there to develop some of that self-confidence with the young women. I know that when I did a martial arts class when I was in Nigeria in Calabar, the young sisters were so into it. They were very engaged, and to be given the chance to learn these things, and some of them were really excelling in it. So, hopefully down the road we will work on that, and that could be a one of those things that keeps on giving, because it's not, as we know, martial arts is not only the fighting, it's the holistic lifestyle, which is even more important with martial arts.
Great, excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time and your patience, as usual.
Yes. And can we give a preview of the next interview? Well, how to survive the maximum detention facility?
Yes. Oh my goodness, we've got so much. You've got so much great content coming. I'm still working on mine, but yes. So sneak peek. Do you want to repeat that?
Oh, the sneak peek is how to survive a maximum security facility as a correctional officer using meditation strategies.
Yes, you definitely are going to have to expand on that and tell us everything in the next interview. So yeah, we've got quite a few good ones coming up. The true size of Africa, like natural hair.
Yes.
400 years without a comb. Yeah.
Yes.
The legacy of colonialism.
Oh yeah.
Just a few in the bag. So thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to let you go. That was great. I can't wait to hear how it all pans out. And
Yes, so
yeah, stay tuned, people. Stay tuned.
Thank you, my sister. We did together.
Coucher, on est ensemble.
Peace and blessings.
Same to you.
Okay. Get to poo.